Obviously, spoken, pretty highly, pretty nicely of Stony Brook. What in your mind does it do for college baseball for a team like that to get here to Omaha?
I think it opens a number of doors to teams that maybe didn't think they would ever have this opportunity. And Stony Brook didn't just push the door open, they knocked it down by accomplishing what they did in Baton Rouge. It gives all of the teams in so-called cold weather climates that belief that, hey, we're going to get this done also. And there's so many good baseball players and so many good baseball coaches all over these United States. Don't be surprised if another team from the Northeast shows up in the very near future in Omaha, Nebraska.
Coach, you talked about how Stony Brook builds off of momentum. When they got those couple runs there late in the game, what did you tell your guys? How did you make sure they wouldn't build off of those?
First of all, I tried to be sure and keep my cool because I was feeling the same way. And Michael made some very good pitches. I thought one of the key plays was when they had the man at second, nobody out, and they hit a rope right at Sherman. And I mean, it was a one-hop rope, and he threw him out. Made it look routine, but one foot right or left, and it's by him because the guy hit it so hard. So what we just tried to do is continue to play like the game was telling us to play, because we had the lead and you don't want to walk people, but you can't throw it right down the middle of the plate to them. Give the credit to Mike Compton.
Coach, can you talk about the importance of the offense putting up a bunch of runs so you wouldn't have to go to Big Casa or Gage Smith today?
Well, that was huge, and give Mike Bell all the credit for bringing the guys in the ball game that he wanted in the ball game. I was a little hesitant inside, but Michael knows our pitchers very well, and we went with what he wanted to do. I mean, Johnson hasn't pitched a lot of innings this year, but he's pitched well in the last 4 outings. Holtman hasn't pitched in probably 3 weeks, but yet he had a very good outing. And of course, Mac Walls pitched a lot for us this year, and he had a good outing. So it was a very unusual day in an environment like this to be able to get guys in the ball game and be able to rest guys that you're counting on.
You obviously needed the two.
Thank you so much,
No
Steve.
problem. No problem.
Excuse me for interrupting.
I knew you did.
But if I didn't thank you at my age, I'd forget it. Thanks.
No
Go ahead.
problem.
Excuse me.
Obviously, you had to beat Stony Brook to survive another day in the tournament. But is there a certain, I guess, feeling that it's almost a shame to see that story go away for the year?
You know, deep down, I've got to say yes, but in competition, you just can't feel that way. Stony Brook is a great story. They weren't given anything. They earned every single thing they accomplished all year long. And for them to go into Alex Box and win 2 ball games after losing the first game, turn right around and win 2 games, that's phenomenal. And like I said in the press conference, if I was from Omaha, I'd have been pulling for Stony Brook today.
Were you coming in here when you see what they did? They didn't just beat LSU; they beat Miami. They beat a good UCF team. You've seen those teams. I mean, were you pretty leery of them coming in here?
I mean, darn right. And our players, like I said, have a good grasp of the game, and they took Stony Brook as serious as they've taken anybody on our schedule, because they know 7 players drafted. I mean, they're just a beautiful baseball team.
Coach, I understand you had a chance to go to Rosenblatt, but you turned it down. Can you talk about the reason behind that?
I want to remember Rosenblatt for what I saw in Steve's book today. I don't want to go over there and see a bunch of weeds and no lights and no outfield wall with that beautiful big old scoreboard, and just look back in the time that people were playing with their beach balls out there when they finally fixed that darn outfield fence. It used to be too small. A couple of years they fixed it. I want to remember Rosenblatt from 2010 when we were here. We got to close it, and by George, that's the way I'll remember it.
Who are you going to draw on Tuesday?